Something that most of the people in the country have never even heard of, let alone seen. Last year, select places, we're thinking California, maybe a grower in Florida, had the Bluephoria summer trumpet vines. The rest of us never even heard about them. And so this is why we love QVC, where we launch new and exciting to the marketplace. From Cottage Farms, this is the two-piece Bluephoria summer trumpet vine plants. We're going to show you the different ways that you can grow them. 3 easy payments of $14.67. I know, isn't it so pretty?
The foliage is fantastic.
Yeah. It is shiny, bright, and healthy. This is an annual, so this is what we call a trumpet vine or a Mandevilla, if you've ever heard of that. This is going to be one of those plants that blooms for you all summer. In fact, look at the ship samples. It is blooming out of the box. So this is brand new. I am so excited to be able to bring it to you because when I posted this on Facebook, you guys, everyone was like, oh, blue Mandevilla. I heard a lovely story of a woman who said her mother's favorite color was blue, so she had to get these.
These are all real flowers, by the way. This is what you're going to be growing. Alberta, Katie just was telling me something so interesting. Mandevilla is actually going to be a little harder to find this year because of some, weather and hurricanes and stuff in Florida. So I'm not saying you're not going to be able to find it, but I am going to tell you this. If this is a plant that you've always loved, it will be harder to find this year. It will be more expensive. And out at the garden centers, you will absolutely not be finding Bluephoria.
But I will tell you, the reason why I'm so impressed with the foliage of this is because Mandevillas actually have a darker green foliage usually, and they're not shiny like this. These are almost waxy. They're so pretty. They look like a tropical.
They do.
Oh my gosh, they're fantastic. $14.67. You get 2 of them.
You get 2, and that's why we showed you these 2 different examples, because if you've grown a Mandevilla, you know that it's a climbing vine. And so this is the more traditional way here where we have 3 bamboo stakes. You can put it on a little trellis.
And actually,
yes.
It completely covers the stakes so you can't
you can't even see them in there.
But inside here, there's 3 bamboo stakes. They just tied it up very simply, with just little ties. So you can certainly do that. Now, if you don't want to do that, same plant, and now it's a spiller.
Spiller, yes, spiller alert. So you can put it in a hanging basket. You can put it now more in a container and have it drape over the sides. So this is going to be a smaller, more compact Mandevilla than maybe you've grown before, or if you have never grown it, it is going to be perfect for a container because of the way it weeps over the side. It will only get to be about 2 to 3 feet tall. Look how that is in the garden. So you can put it in, just like any other annual, your sun patience, your lantana. If you want to actually plant this in the ground, you can, or you can put it in a container.
I love it in containers.
I do too. I would go with a 10 or 12-inch container.
Actually, and Roberta's launched their 10-inch whiskey barrels. 2 of them for $24. Get that.
Yes, perfect. And you can see here, the reason that we choose our annuals is because they bloom and bloom and bloom. And this is a great shot of the pink buds. So the thing about Bluephoria, it's brand new, and what they saw is that the buds come out bright Barbie pink. So you can see those little kind of dart-shaped things. Those are the buds.
Oh, you see them actually here.
Yeah, they're right here. They're right over here. So there they are, beautiful, bright pink in the buds.
And look how many, that's one flower, and then bud,
and it's the undercolor, basically, right?
Yes,
it's the underside of the color.
Yes.
They're so beautiful. This really is the most beautiful Mandevilla I've seen. It really, really is. These vines that grow. And when I bought my house, again, the person that owned the house before me, she loved to garden. And so I learned from her because I bought my house in the spring, and she said, that's where I keep my Mandevilla, and that's where I put a Mandevilla every single season.
Oh, I love that
because the thing is, it blocks from your neighbors sometimes. If you do trellis them up, they grow on their own. They kind of vine up on their own. They're really, really pretty. Here's the difference. The flower, that blue color, but also this foliage is
stunning.
Beautiful. It doesn't melt. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes the Mandevilla foliage just kind of melts away.
Or it's like you said, that evergreen color, that darker color. So this is going to be glossy and waxy, covered with these bright. Now I know we're calling this Bluephoria. I would say the flowers are a little more on the lavender hue, and they have that pink center. The bud comes out, and then they get a little deeper burgundy in the center.
But please be clear, if you're someone who loves Mandevilla like Alberti does, and I tend to grow it I've had a lot of yellow in the past, right?
Very common.
Unless you were living in kind of some select areas where maybe a grower had it there, a grower had it there. For most of the country, the vast majority of us, we've never seen this before. This is really the first full year that this is available to market, and of course Cottage Farms brings it to us. So I've never grown this color. I'm guessing you haven't either. Now, Doug from Cottage Farms grew it, but that's Doug from Cottage Farms. He got his last year for the first time.
Isn't blue the hardest flower to really find?
And that's why we're calling this blue, because we wanted to get it as close. I mean, look at that. It does have a blueberry hue to it. We wanted to get it as close to blue as possible. And I love this picture because it shows those glossy green leaves. It shows those bright pink buds, and then the purpley blue flowers that will be covering this vine. Here it is, planted with three, it's the pink, the purple, and the red Mandevillas. Shows the versatility of how you can use them in pots, in the ground. And then we want to show you here the versatility of how you can either grow it upright, so have the plant growing on bamboo stakes or on a trellis, or even alongside a fence. You put it in a 10-inch container, and you can have it growing up like this.
Yeah.
And it'll be a little more compact than a lot of Mandevillas we've seen in the past.
Yeah, because sometimes traditional ones grow like 6 feet tall.
You're right.
How tall will this grow?
This will get to be about 3 feet tall, and that will be by your end of your growing season, because this is an annual. It gives it all from the box. It starts blooming right away, and it doesn't stop because there are so many buds on this. I mean, there's so many buds loaded all over this one. This one we have in more of a traditional draping style, where it's not growing upright, but it's growing down.
So I want to show you, right? So this is only $1,700 to go around, brand new today, $14.67. When you get this home, like, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different vines in there.
That's a great point.
This one, multiple vines as well. So when you get them home, they're really, really ready to start sprouting.
They are.
It's like Jack and the Beanstalk, right? No, for real. They're like ready to grow.
Well, that's what Mandevilla are known for, is giving you kind of that instant gratification. So you'll get flowers out of the gate, and they'll start to grow really fast. And that's what we want with our annuals. We want to be able to decorate with them and not have to wait. Listen, I love perennials, obviously, but you have to require a little more patience.
Yes.
With our annuals, it is
and
that
these
instant
are just
gratification.
getting started. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, if we did this presentation in a couple of weeks, we'd have even more flowers. Look at all the flowers coming on.
So many buds.
Yeah.
That is why this brand new Bluephoria, that's why you are getting the best of the best. So it's not just a brand new plant, but it's the best breeding, which means it's going to even be more heat tolerant, more drought tolerant, and have more blooms.
Katie, thank you so much. And I know you have a full hour coming up at 9 o'clock tonight.
Woo.
Thank you.
Thanks
so much for being here. All right, so listen, M132517 is your item number for that. That does it for Garden Buds today.
That is it. Another edition of Garden Buds.